If you're considering buying a Joovv Solo red light panel, you should check this video out because I've got 11 reasons why the BioMax 900 is a better panel than the Joovv Solo. Hey guys, it's Alex here from alexfergus.com, and behind me I have the Joovv Solo 3.0 and the BioMax 900 from Platinum LED Lights. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is compare these two panels and present 11 reasons why the BioMax 900 is a much better panel than the Joovv panel. I've used both of these panels on and off for the last few months now, and I've reviewed them extensively, so you can check out those independent reviews. But I wanted to do a direct head-to-head, and as I was going through my prep notes for this video, it was obvious that one panel was much better than the other. So in this video, what I'm going to do is look at both of these panels on all sorts of things: power, price, performance, operations, what it comes with, support, all those things. And I'm going to present 11 reasons why the BioMax is better. Okay, reason number one why the BioMax 900 is a better panel than the Joovv Solo 3.0 is because of its size. Now, not only is the BioMax 900 physically larger, it's a foot wide by 3 foot high. The Joovv is a lot narrower, meaning you're getting a smaller treatment area. But the big difference is the number of LEDs. The BioMax 900 has 300 LEDs in it. The Joovv Solo over here, only 150. You can probably see on screen the concentration of these LEDs versus the Joovv over here, how they're a lot more spaced apart. So first things first, you're getting more LEDs and you're getting a larger panel with the BioMax 900. Reason number two why the BioMax 900 is a better buy than the Joovv Solo, and that is because of price. At the time of recording, mid-February, you can get the BioMax 900 for $1,150. Now, if you use discount code ALEX, you'll save 5%. That brings this panel down to $1,092 US. Joovv, on the other hand, the base unit comes in at $1,365. However, this morning I got an email saying as of the 1st of March 2022, they're going to bump their prices up 10%. So that's going to put the panel up to $1,500, $410 more than the BioMax 900. And remember, it's got 150 LEDs versus 300 LEDs in the BioMax. Not only that, the BioMax price is inclusive of taxes. Joovv, on the other hand, you don't find out the tax price until you get to the checkout screen. You'll input your address and then the taxes are added depending on your country or state. So that could be another 10% or 15% depending where you're living. All of a sudden, you're spending $500, $600 more for the Joovv Solo compared to the BioMax. Reason number three why you should go with the BioMax 900 over the Joovv Solo, and that is because of the extended warranty period that the BioMax have. Platinum LED have a 3-year warranty with their BioMax panels. Joovv only have a 2-year warranty with their Joovv Solo panel, which is a bit of a bummer, especially because you're spending, 50% more for the Joovv, and the company is well known. It is a big company, so you would expect that longer warranty period, but again, it's just another reason why the BioMax is a better panel than the Joovv. Okay, point number four why the BioMax is the better panel is because of the shipping costs. Now, if you live in the USA, you can get the BioMax shipped to your door with free shipping. So remember, the price for this was $1,092 after discount code ALEX. You can get that shipped to your door without paying an extra cent. Joovv, on the other hand, don't do free shipping. So already you're paying a top dollar price, $1,500 or thereabouts. Then you have to add on your shipping costs. I put a few addresses in at the checkout screen over at the Joovv website, and I was getting a $90 or higher price to send it to some American addresses. So that's quite a lot of money. If you're wanting to ship this internationally, it's costing you about $150 US. BioMax shipped to your door in Australia or the UK, you're only spending $80. So it's half the price if you're an international customer. So whether you're an international customer or an American customer, the BioMax is a much cheaper option from a shipping point of view. Reason number five. Okay, so the BioMax utilizes multi-wave technology. Red light therapy has been around for many years now, and it is well researched and very well proven. Now, most of the research is done on two wavelengths, 660 nanometers and 850 nanometer light. The 850 nanometer light is your near-infrared invisible light, 660 is the red light. However, there's also a ton of data and a ton of evidence showing that these other wavelengths are very effective as well. We've got wavelengths such as 810, 830, 630 nanometers, and beyond those wavelengths. Platinum LED have realized that yes, there's a lot of potential in these wavelengths and have incorporated some of them into their BioMax panels. Now, they utilize 5 wavelengths. They utilize in 630, 660, 810, 830, and 850 nanometer light. But 80% of their light is still going to the 660 and 850 nanometer wavelengths. Only 20% is going to what I call these alternative wavelengths. So you know you're still getting 80% of the energy is going to the tried and tested, very effective, well-researched wavelengths. But you've still got 20% going to wavelengths that also have studies and also have been shown to have benefit. I like this. I like the fact that you're getting a range of wavelengths and you're tapping into those other benefits that are not possible in panels that just utilize 660 and 850. One of those panels is the Joovv. The Joovv Solo only uses 660 and 850. They stand by their decision because they say that those are the main wavelengths, and that is true. But like I said, there's a lot of evidence behind these alternative wavelengths, and as each year goes by, there's more evidence showing that yes, these other wavelengths are more effective. Reason number 6 is the control panel. Now, the PlatinumLED BioMax has a better control panel than the Joovv Solo. I can't fault the Joovv Solo control panel. It is actually a really well-designed control panel. It's very basic, but it's easy to use. The buttons all make sense. There's nice tactile feedback when you press it. There's a little screen with a timer. It does everything you need it to do. However, the BioMax is a step above. They've got a full LCD touchscreen control panel in there, and it works really, really nice. When I first heard about this in last year's announcement, I thought, oh, maybe this is going to be too confusing and complex. But that's not the case. It's very simple to use. The menus are all straightforward. The feedback, there's no delay in the touchscreen or anything like that. As a result of the touchscreen control panel in the BioMax, it has enabled a few more features, advanced features, to be incorporated into this panel. One such feature is the ability to customize the amount of light going to a particular wavelength. So for instance, if you want 50% of the energy going to near infrared and 10% going to red light, you can do that with the BioMax. You can't do that with the Joovv, and you can't do that with any other panel. You can even go all the way down to 1% red light and 0% on the near infrared light, and just use this panel as a background light with a very low wattage draw. So you'll be saving on electricity costs and of course not putting out much heat. If you want to do a long meditation session in front of one of these lights, you can drop the power down as well, maybe 10% or 20%. There's a lot of options you can do with this new feature in the BioMax. Now, with the Joovv, I don't want to be too critical here because they do offer an ambient mode feature, so you can drop the power down to 20%, 50%, and again, use it for extended periods and decrease the electricity costs. However, though, to access those functions, you need an app, which means you need a login, you need to have the app, the phone with you, sync it all up, and activate it through there. You can't do it on the buttons or on the control panel, which is a bit of a bummer, I think. You can't specify, you want red light at this dose and near infrared at this dose like you can with the BioMax. The Joovv does have the app, like I mentioned. Some people do like that. I find it's just another thing you've got to worry about. It's more of a hassle. I'd much prefer having everything on the panel itself. For these reasons is why the BioMax is the winner here and why it is a better panel than the Joovv. Reason number 7 why the BioMax is the better panel is because of the power it puts out. The PlatinumLED BioMax has a much higher radiance figure than the Joovv. I've done testing using my own spectrometer here. The peak power I got for the Joovv Solo was 74 milliwatts. The peak power I got for the BioMax was 83 milliwatts. So it is a noticeable difference. However, I will admit that the Joovv is still putting out a lot of power, especially compared to the Generation 2 panel. Where things get interesting though is when we look at the total wattage output. Now that figure I just gave you before was the peak, the highest reading I could find in front of the panel. The total wattage output is looking at the power across the entire panel. Because the BioMax has more LEDs and is a larger panel and has the higher peak, it has a much higher wattage reading. The wattage reading for the BioMax 900 is 147.7 watts. In comparison, the Joovv is only putting out 85 watts. A massive difference, huge difference, and that's why I like the BioMax over the Joovv. Reason number 8 is because the BioMax is much better value compared to the Joovv. If we look at a dollar per LED point of view, The BioMax is coming out at $3.60. That means you spend $3.60 to get one LED. The Joovv, on the other hand, with the price rises incorporated in this calculation, comes out to be $10 per LED. You're spending 3 times more per LED with the Joovv than you are compared to the BioMax. When we do a dollar per wattage calculation, we see, and in both cases, the lower the price, the better, we see a dollar per wattage figure of $7.60, which is the best and the lowest I've ever seen in all my years testing red light therapy panels, by the way. So you're spending $7.60 to get 1 watt of therapeutic red light. In comparison, the Joovv has a figure of $20.30. You're spending $20 to get that same watt of red light. That's a massive difference, nearly 3 times the price. So if you are buying the Joovv over the BioMax, you're spending 3 times more to get the same amount of red light therapy, which is why we buy these panels in the first place, right? Okay, now reason number 9 is because of the much better safety levels in the BioMax compared to the Joovv. The BioMax 900 second generation panel that I have here, I've tested this with my Cornet EMF meter at 3 inches and 6 inches, and I can say it is one of the best panels from an EMF point of view. The BioMax 600 was ever so slightly better, and I think the Mito Red Mito Pro was better again. But we're talking minuscule changes, and it's only when you get up close, up to 3 inches. At 6 inches and beyond, these panels are perfectly safe to use for extended periods of time. However, the Joovv was not the case. In fact, the Joovv was quite shocking. In my 2021 red light therapy body panel comparison series, I'll put a link to that below. Check it out if you haven't. That's where I compare 12 different red light therapy panels. I talked about how the Joovv had really high EMF levels, and it in fact ranked really low in my comparison series because of that. Since that comparison series, I've done further testing looking at the EMF levels on the Joovv, and I found they were actually worse than I originally tested. That was because I was using the wrong, I was using a metal ruler, and that was having a grounding effect. So the Joovv has a very high electric field reading, and that's because the cable that comes with the Joovv isn't a grounded cable, and in fact you can't use your own cable with a grounding plug in it because it won't fit into the Joovv at the bottom. It's just, to be honest, it's a bit of an overthought. I wouldn't be surprised if Joovv fix this up in time, but it is a big issue. It means if you're standing very close to that panel, which is what you are doing when using these devices, you're exposing the body to stressful and potentially harmful non-native EMF fields. So that's another big reason why the BioMax 900 is my pick over the Joovv. Reason number 10 is because of the sound. Now, the BioMax 900, quite a big panel, I think it has 4 fans back there, is putting out 49 decibels of sound at 6 inches, which is, to put things in perspective, I think there were only 2 or 3 panels in my comparison series that were under 50 decibels. Yes, there's a background whir, but it's not annoying and it's not loud. You don't think, oh, turn that off, it's really bothering me. The Joovv, on the other hand, has 62 decibels at 6 inches. It's really high. Sure, you don't need earmuffs or anything like that, but it is enough to think, I don't really want that on. In fact, in the introduction video that I originally filmed here, this light was still running. Both lights were still running. I just cut the red light and had them running in the background, and I ended up reshooting that because the background whir was just too loud and too annoying. Speaking of annoying, that's another thing I don't like about the sound with this Joovv. It is a up and down sort of pulsing sound. It really bothers me. I used this panel for a couple of weeks before I did my review last year, and yeah, it would really annoy me. I didn't like standing next to it. I'd try to read a book or be on my phone, and it would really get to me. That's never happened with any other panel. And not only is it because it's quite loud, it's one of the loudest panels I've tested, but that irritating whir is very irritating. So again, another reason why the BioMax is the better panel. All right, and lucky last, reason 11 why the BioMax 900 is a better panel than the Joovv Solo. And that is because if you want to get one of these panels to hang from a door or from a wall, it's very easy to do it with the BioMax 900. With the Joovv Solo, as you can see here, it's not quite as simple. Now, the BioMax 900 comes standard with these metal hooks and a clip on the top. You screw those onto the top of the panel. You can hang them from a hook or any other thing that's protruding from the wall. All good. It also comes with a pulley system, so if your hook was quite high, you could hang it up there, use the pulley system to get it to the right height. You could also use that pulley system if you wanted to have the panel up high and then adjust it down low to do your legs, for instance, in the same session. Those items all come included in the box when you get your BioMax 900. You don't have to buy any accessories or stands. Saying that, you can buy a vertical stand and a horizontal stand for about $300 from Platinum if you want to do that, and they allow you to clip multiple panels together. Or you can buy a $69 wall mount bracket, which you can screw to the wall and then mount that hard to the wall. Alternatively, you can just lean this against the wall as well. It's got rubber feet on the back, and I have done that in the past. In fact, many of my reviews, that's how I reviewed it, sitting on the floor with the panel leaning on the back. But you can do all that stuff, you know, with the same price. You don't have to buy the accessories unless you want those stands. So that's all good. The Joovv, on the other hand, as you can see here, I can't do that. And that's why I've got it sitting on a box, which is sitting on a little bedside table to try to get it up to a similar height to make it easier to do this video. The Joovv has nothing on top that I can screw in. There's no mounts or anything there. I can't hang it from this hook. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to buy an adapter or a stand. Now, the Joovv wall stand comes in at $150. And again, this is before their price rise, so that's meant to go up 10%. Sorry, it's $180. So that's meant to go up to nearly $200 when those price kicks in, which will be probably when this video goes out. If you want to hang it from a door, I should mention that the BioMax comes with a metal door hook. You set it over top of the door, and it works as a hook like this, so you can use your cable, pulley system, and away you go. And that's what a lot of people do. Joovv, if you want to hang it from the door, you need to spend $80 to get a door adapter so you can hang it from a door. Remember, this panel was $500 more than this panel. So not only you're spending more from the get-go and getting less LEDs and less power and all that stuff, less warranty, but you also then have to buy these other accessories if you want to hang it from a wall or a door. Otherwise, you're just going to have to sit it on the floor or lean against the wall. I should note that the Joovv does come with a boot, a floor boot, which a lot of people like, and people have even asked if you can get ones for the BioMax here. And all that does is allows you to slot the panel into a solid metal floor stand, so you can move it around, and you could even have that in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the room, for instance, which is pretty neat. But still, if you look at the size of this and you want to do the top half of your body or your legs, it's a bit tricky. You have to, I guess, sit down next to it, which is a bit of a bummer. So if you want a panel that you can open up the box, hang it on the back of your door, hang it on the wall, adjust the height very easily, then the BioMax is a much better panel. If you want to do all those things with the Joovv, just know you have to buy more accessories and thus spend more money. Okay, so those were my 11 reasons why the BioMax 900 is a much better buy compared to the Joovv Solo 3.0. I think anyone watching this will agree that yes, the BioMax is a much better panel. However, the Joovv does have a few things going for it, and I do want to mention them before this video ends. So let's run through this real quick. First things first, the Joovv Solo Generation 3 is made out of plastic. It is very light. It's incredibly light. The BioMax is made out of metal. Now, I'm not saying the Joovv is better because it's made out of plastic. In fact, some people say that's a negative over the Joovv. And I will be honest, when I was setting these up before, I picked this up and I was like, I don't know, it did feel a little bit cheaper just because of how light it is. Maybe that's just because I've used so many metal panels over the years. But it is a lot lighter, which is good if you're going to be moving it around or taking it with you when you travel, or, you know, only putting it on the wall for a particular session, then taking it down. Maybe you're interested in that. It does also have some nice carry handles on the top, bottom, and on the side. The BioMax also has carry handles at the top, but not on the side. It does also have them on the bottom. The Joovv does have a longer power cable, so there's less need for an extension cord, which is always good. And the cable plugs into the bottom of the panel, which is great as well. The BioMax it does have a decent cable. It's not quite as long as the Joovv, but it plugs up around here. So depending on where your power point is, there's a higher chance you'll need an extension cable for the BioMax. Finally, the Joovv does offer something that the BioMax doesn't, and that's the pulsing feature. Now, pulsing is something still relatively new to the red light therapy space. A couple of panels have now utilized it. I've looked into it. I still don't know where I sit. There's a bit of science on there, but not much. Some people say it's going to be a game changer, but it hasn't really eventuated yet. It is only pulsing in the near infrared light, and it is only set to 10 hertz. You can't pulse at any other rates, and you can't pulse the red light. So that is a nice little addition. You just simply hit the button on the side to enable that feature. They say it helps with recovery. Whether it does or not, again, I'm not too sure. Joovv do have some a white paper or some studies that they quote on their website, so you can go dig into that if you want. But that is one big difference between the Joovv and the BioMax 900. However, it's not enough of a reason for me to say that it's a better panel than the BioMax. Like I said early on, the BioMax is a larger panel, physically larger, wider, with a lot more LEDs, twice as many LEDs. It puts out more power, both as a high peak power and a total wattage power, a lot more power in fact. It's coming in at a much better price. You're saving $500 or thereabouts getting the BioMax over the Joovv. Plus it's got cheaper shipping options, both in America and internationally. It's got a better warranty period. You've got multi-wave technology. It's safe to use, better EMF levels. It's quieter, has a nice control panel, more accessories, easier to set up, easier to hang. I could go on and on and on. But hopefully by now you can see that yes, it is a better panel. I should also mention that I am affiliated with PlatinumLED, so if you use discount code ALEX, you save 5%. I get a bit of a cutback as well, whereas I don't have any relationship with Joovv, so there's no financial incentive there for me to recommend them or anything like that. So I do want to put that out there. However, the reason I'm not affiliated with Joovv is because they have an exclusive policy. If I was affiliated with them, I'm not allowed to be affiliated with any other red light therapy company. But the reason why I don't want to do that is because I really like the BioMax, I really like the MitoRed, for instance. I really like a lot of these panels out there. And they're better panels, they're better value, easy to use, more power, all those things I've just touched on. So that's my little disclosure. Check out all my reviews, do your own testing, do your own comparisons, do your own reading, and I think you'll come to the same conclusion as well. I'm not saying the Joovv Solo isn't going to work. You'll still get good results, and that's why there will still be good reviews out there with the Joovv. If I had no other red light therapy panel in my home or office or gym other than the Joovv, I'd still use it. I'd be a little bit hesitant about the high EMF readings, and I wouldn't want to get too close. I would get annoyed with the sound, which always happens, and there's a few things on there that do bother me. But if I had to pick between these two panels, it's clear that the BioMax is a much better panel. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them below. If you want me to compare any other panels or do any other reviews, please leave those comments below as well. And yeah, be sure to subscribe because I'll be doing a lot more reviews, a lot more information on red light therapy and other health products this year. All right, guys, see you soon.